J.T. Mooring, Uncle Ira and Lookout Mountain. Uncle Ira and Lookout Mountain, J.T. Mooring.
I will never forget the first time I met my Uncle Ira out on his ranch in West Texas. I was just a 5-year-old kid from Ohio, but I'd watched enough Gunsmoke and Bonanza to know a real cowboy when I saw one, and Uncle Ira had it all. He had the pointy boots, he had the dusty blue jeans, he had the belt buckle. I'm telling you, he had the belt buckle. He had the checkered shirt, and of course, he had the hat. And that's not all, friends and neighbors. Uncle Ira called me partner. He taught me how to use the word y'all properly, and he let me ride his favorite horse, Missy. Now, Missy was a big black mare known far and wide as the fastest, smartest, most reliable horse in all of West Texas. She was so fast that Ira preferred to ride her into town to pick up supplies rather than take his pickup truck. She was so smart that Ira could send her into town and she would bring back the supplies. And she was so reliable, she always came back with the correct change. Now I want to tell y'all the true story of Uncle Ira, Missy, and Lookout Mountain. But to do that, we have to go out to West Texas. So I'm going to ask you, are you with me? Yeah. Let's go. It's a typical day here in West Texas. That means the winds are blowing at gale force. Ira and Missy are standing on the front porch of the old ranch house, watching the tumbleweeds blow up against the fence lines, watching the cows walk sideways across the pasture so they don't get blown over, and keeping one eye on the windmill blades that are spinning at an alarming rate. A gust of wind comes, and those blades achieve escape velocity. They break off from their post and go sailing and soaring out across the pasture like the biggest whirlybird you could possibly imagine. Now, Ira is not one to stand here idly and watch a piece of ranch equipment head for the hills, so he hops on Missy and they give chase to the pasture, and they're catching up already, to the river, and it's directly overhead. Out to the foothills, and his equipment's falling off, but he's bypassed the blades, but they continue up to the top of the highest ground around the top of Lookout Mountain, where they turn to see that wayward whirlybird zigzagging its way up to them. Now, I have to pause here for just a second, folks. I'm going to warn you, this next bit may seem a little bit far-fetched, but I assure you it is just as true as the rest of this story. So, are you still with me? Yeah. Okay. We've got Lookout Mountain, we've got Missy, we've got Uncle Ira. Ira's got his lasso going for whichever way that thing zigs or zags. But at the last moment, it doesn't. It crashes and crunches directly into Lookout Mountain and spins and saws its way through the center of Lookout Mountain and out the other side. I warned you, didn't I? Well, Ira's got his lasso. He drops a loop over the hub and holds on tight. And that's when they feel the earth move under their feet, and the whole top of Lookout Mountain starts sliding down the lower part of Lookout Mountain. Ira holding on to the rope, Missy surfing down that mountain like she grew up on the beach in San Diego, down the mountain, over the foothills, across the river, and they come gliding, sliding, grinding to a halt right back at that old ranch where they started. Whew. And that, friends and neighbors, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests, that is the true story of Uncle Ira, Missy, and Lookout Mountain. And I know this is a true story because I've been to that ranch house, I've stood on that porch, I've looked across that pasture over toward Lookout Mountain, which is now and forever known as Lookout Mesa.